Level 6 in Kyusho International is the first of the applied levels. Applied levels meaning that you're taking all the points that you've learned, you've studied all the different parts of the body, and now you're trying to use them for different purposes. Well, level 6 is about takedowns. And if you have done arms, and you've done head, you've done body, you've done legs, you have 4 different groups of takedowns, which is a lot. You should start off by going through every point that you already know and seeing if you can make a takedown out of that. Be creative. Some of them are going to work brilliantly. Other times you're going to think that they're not worth it at all. Maybe it's something that you're going to throw away. Maybe it's something you're going to come back to later. So in general, I'm going to tell you that it's easiest to do takedowns using head or using legs. It's going to be harder to use the arms because of the amount of force that you have to use and the person's ability to come back to it. And it's going to be hard to use the body just because of the person's mass. Legs are easier for takedowns if you think of things in terms of sweeping, and head in terms of throwing and twisting. So I'm going to go back to a couple things we've already done, but also try something a little bit different. One of the points in the arms that we can go to is lung 5. If you notice where the elbow creases, around the inside of that is lung 5. Lung 5 in a typical acupuncture book is usually inside the crease. For purposes of Kyusho and fighting, we tend to go more on the forearm. There's other points in there, and the nerve is there. As we know, we're not really focused primarily on the point, and don't let the point get in your way of learning what you're actually doing. If somebody grabs onto you and their arm is in this position, if you can reach around and grab into their lung 5 and you pull down, you're going to get their same side knee to buckle. So if I grab on like this and you can get my knee to buckle, that's the beginning of a takedown. You might argue that it's not a takedown entirely, and you might be right. It is possible that you can get the person all the way to the ground. But if you're thinking, there's no way I can do that, I'm not strong enough for that, that's just the beginning. If I'm strong and I'm holding on and you take my balance and I start to fold because of that, you execute whatever takedown you want to follow. In this case, the arm point set up the takedown. It doesn't have to be the takedown itself. Going back to a point we used previously in the head video, mental nerve. If somebody locks in and grabs onto you, or punches, but we'll stick to the grab for now. If you rotate with your thumb or with your fingers or with your knuckles this way or even with a fist or a palm, you can get the person's head to turn. If they're locked in really tight and you put pressure, pressure, pressure straight on, nothing's going to happen. Dig down and make a pulse out of it, the head's going to whip to the side. Before they let go, that's your opportunity to take them down. We have a technique in our regular martial art called head control takedown where we don't exactly use the pressure point and it still works. In this case, the pressure point is going to make it that much better. So if you lock in and you grab with your fingertips under their chin or your palm or anything that you have control of their head, turn their head away from your body using the mental nerve, using your thumb or your knuckle to dig into that, and then guide them to the ground. Best thing you can do also, move your body while you're doing it, give them room to fall as you step back. So that's going to be a mental nerve or head control takedown using pressure point.